In this video, I'm going to describe a new feature of Dreamweaver CS4 that allows you to manage your website development operations using Subversion. Subversion is a free open-source source code control application. It's installed on a server, and you can now communicate with Subversion directly from within Dreamweaver. You can check files in, check them out again, and revert back to old files or restore files that you've accidentally deleted. In order to use this feature, you configure your website in Dreamweaver CS4. I'll go to the Site Management dialog and select the new Version Control category. In this category, you set your access. The only option right now is Subversion. The protocol can be set to any one of these 4 supported protocols. I've selected HTTP. If you're setting up your first Subversion repository, check with the repository administrator to find out what protocol you should use. Set the server address, that's just like a website address but without the HTTP prefix, and the repository path. This will be the name of your repository, again provided by the administrator. The server port is set to default in my system, and once again is a configurable value. And then I've supplied a username and password. From this screen, I can click the Test button to test my access to the repository, and Dreamweaver shows me that the Subversion server and project are accessible. So I'll click OK a few times, then click Done, and return back to my web page. Once you've turned on Subversion, each file in your file list will have icons to tell you what its status is. Any file with a plus icon is a file that can be checked in for the first time. That is, it's not yet stored in the repository. I'm going to select the file index.html and open it, and scroll down to show the current content. Notice that there are some photos and some placeholder text. Now I'll right-click on the file and select Check In. This is the first time I'm adding the file, so I'm going to add a commit message of Adding File for First Time. Then I'll click the Commit button. Dreamweaver puts the file into my source code control repository, and then I'll hide the dialog. Now I'm going to check out the file from the repository. That will mark the file so that other developers know it's being worked on. I'll right-click on the file and select Check Out. Once I've checked out the file, I can now make some changes. I'll click into this text and replace it with, "This is a very yellow car." And I'll save my changes by selecting File, Save. Once any changes have been made after checking out, a check mark appears next to the file name, indicating that changes have been made and the file should be checked in again. Now I'll right-click on the file and select Check In, and in the commit message I'll add some text, Changed Yellow Car Message. And I'll click Commit again. The new version of the file is now checked in. Now let's say that I needed to restore the old version of the file. I'll go back to the file again, right-click on it, and select the new menu choice Version Control, and then Show Revisions. Dreamweaver interrogates the repository and shows me the various revisions. Now I'm going to select the file that I want to restore and click Promote to Current, meaning that I want the repository to see this version as the current version. I'll confirm the change, and after a moment Subversion indicates that there is yet another version, but with its own comment promoted from version 7. And I'll close the dialog. Now, to restore that version of the file, I'll right-click on the file again, go to Version Control, and select Get Latest Versions. That means that I want to go get the version that I indicated was the current version. Once that operation is complete, I'll scroll down and show that the original text has been restored. So that's Subversion, a free open-source source code control system, now fully integrated into Dreamweaver CS4. You can get your own free copy of Subversion from the Subversion open source project, or you can rent a Subversion repository from one of many ISPs that provide that service.